Hey, great people. Thank you for joining us. I am Chidi Akuna.
And I am Victor Akuna.
Hey, if you're new to our channel, Foundation for Family Affairs, please feel free to subscribe and turn on the bell next to it so you're notified when we drop our content. At Foundation for Family Affairs, we talk everything romance, intimacy, and family. And our mission is simply to connect hearts and raise healthy families. You may want to look through our channel. We've got lots of interesting resources that we know will benefit your relationships and marriage. Come on, you need to get there.
We have even organized them in form of a playlist, so you can just choose specific playlists to be like, okay, I'm seeking out for things around marriage, around family, around singlehood. Everything is sorted out for you. All right. So we designed this content with you in mind.
Oh, yes.
Based on our research, based on the people we talk to. So I think you're going to find them really useful.
And lots of people are coming back, with positive feedback.
Yes.
And we are loving it. So feel free as well to drop your comment whenever you can, and let's read from you. We'll be happy to do that. We've come your way with something really interesting. Hey, 5 reasons your relationships don't last. Are you in that place where you're asking, I've been in this relationship for the last 3 months, or I have been in a number of relationships, and after a while things just fade. It just looks like there's nothing, or I begin to hear the negative things I don't like hearing. And you may be asking questions. If you are in that place where you're asking questions, I must commend you, especially if you're watching this. It means you're seeking solution now, all right? And I think you're in the right place. We will be sharing some points, very valid points, that if you pay attention to, will turn things around for you, definitely.
One thing about relationship is that you cannot control the other person's behavior, but you can control yours.
Yes.
And it's a mysterious thing and sometimes difficult to articulate or to explain to people, to say that how you behave or who you are in a relationship influences the other person's behavior and how they turn out. So that's why sometimes when you tell people that, okay, this relationship started this way, really nice, really good, and then it ended up this way. And then you move to do the next relationship, and then something well also happened, and then something just, there's always very good explanation why these things just keep ending or terminate prematurely. And then the third one, and then you tell someone that, you know what, think about all these relationships, all these ladies, they don't know each other, but you, guy, you are the common denominator. All these guys, they don't know each other. You, lady, you are the common denominator. So there must be something about your belief system, how you do things, that is creating the same outcome. Anytime you see the same outcome, consistency means there is a principle that is being activated. So we have designed this video to point out something that might be in your blind spots. What do we mean by that? Thing that you might be doing that you might not be aware of. So that are creating the experiences that are not palatable. So join us as we discuss some of these points, and then we have a bonus point at the end. If you wait to the end, we're going to be sharing with you.
You want to watch till the last point. I tell you, that one is really good. Super. Yes. Okay, so the first point we have for you is you keep attracting people you have not grown capacity to keep. Okay, sometimes we hear people say, oh, I'd like to marry a millionaire, or I would like to marry an executive. I would like to marry someone who has achieved this and that and that. Really good, really good. But the question too is, do you fit into that profile, right? Can you sustain those kind of people? There's a kind of conversation they have. Okay, are you able to sustain that kind of conversation? Are you able to keep their interest? You see, because this question would help you clarify things. If you are wanting this kind of people, maybe you need to be growing capacity. All right, you may need to. It just calls for self-development, self-improvement. Okay, and we are very big on that. What most of the points we'll be sharing to you today warrant self-check. Okay, I need to look inwards. Okay, if I want someone who has reached this peak in their career, who is at this point on the ladder, do I fit? Can I see myself on that ladder? And if I don't, maybe I need to then go for resources that would help me attain that point.
So very important for you to be able to say, because relationship is, once you get married to someone, it assumes that both of you are on the same level. So when you are given, as a guy, you are given an opportunity to speak publicly, there is a certain expectation they have of the spouse. So now you want to marry someone who is a millionaire, who is a billionaire, who has a certain clique of friends, who does some kind of businesses where you meet some kind of people. You can imagine the kind of high power conversations that will be going on.
Yes.
And then you are the spouse, and they now say, yeah, what do you think? You're like, yeah, sorry, what? You don't even have understanding of what's the terminology they're using. You are completely clueless. So what we're trying to say here is this: whoever you are aspiring to attract, you have to be able to ask yourself, that kind of a person, what kind of a spouse would they need that they can boldly project to say, this is my spouse. They can boldly feel comfortable with you in their circle of friends. They can boldly say, all right, when there's a problem, I can be sure that this person may not be able to solve it, but at least they can make meaningful contributions to this solution, to be able to project solution. That's why you see some people who, after maybe they got married when they've not really accomplished much, and one person keeps growing, and the other person is just there, just lay back. And then after a while, begin to notice this huge mental gap. You don't want that to be your experience. So anybody that you are interested in, ask yourself a very simple question. This kind of a person, what kind of a spouse do they be looking for? Right? Make a list and be very brutally honest with yourself, because no other person can be that truthful to you. And ask yourself, do I have the qualities of this? If not, you already have your agenda, something you need to begin to get to work on. To be able to become and grow to that person. Otherwise, you will attract that person in the initial hey, hi, and then the more they get to know you, they begin to see that this person can't really make a contribution to my life. Because at this level, I'm not just looking for a pretty face or just a guy that has six-pack. I want someone that when they can hold down conversations, they can represent me somewhere. Those are the kind of thing that people at that level will be looking for. So you have to become that kind of person so that when you get into a relationship with that person, you'll be able to sustain it. It's not when the person get to know you, be like, oh, nice package, but very bad content.
Yes,
that's good. One reason why the relationship don't last.
Okay, so the next point we have for you is mannerisms and self-sabotaging behaviors that you are unaware of. I like what you said at the start. You were saying these are things you may not be aware of.
Yes.
Okay, so you may be doing things that are putting off people without knowing it. Okay, someone starts chasing you hard. We've seen this where a guy is after a lady and really coming on hard. And all of a sudden, she starts feeling overwhelmed. Like, oh, why is he always calling me? Oh, why does he do this? The question is, are you ready for a relationship? Okay, there is relationship requires certain things. Okay, it requires a level of commitment that this person checks on you. So you don't feel like this person is always in my space, just is now becoming a nuisance. Then it shows you're not even ready for marriage, because marriage requires that. Do you see the point?
Yes.
So that's really critical. I mean, there are different ways people sabotage their relationships. Okay, sometimes it's you just get so nasty. You're very nice, you're very sweet at the start, and towards somewhere in the middle, you just start becoming very nasty. You've not even queried why are you doing this? Why do I have to? So when people meet me, I'm so pleasant, I'm so warm, and they find me really attractive. After a while, it's like what I do now becomes a turn off. No, that's not good. So you need to be checking that.
Sometimes people do that from the people that we have a chat with, we talk with. Sometimes when we counsel people, you get to find out that some of the reason why people do this because they are afraid of rejection.
Yes.
So before someone rejects them, they reject the person. Sometimes they're afraid of losing their independence in a relationship. So while they like the idea of a relationship, oh, they're so good together, oh, couples goals, they like it from afar. They like the idea of a relationship, but they don't have the capacity to sustain that kind of a relationship. So when the relationship, they meet someone that they like and likes them, and the person becomes, obviously relationship progresses. It doesn't stay in one spot. So let's say you guys started out as acquaintances, then you guys become friends, then conversations start getting serious. You know that the next thing this guy is going to ask me out. So that triggers a reaction. That fear triggers a reaction that now makes them begin to behave in a way that shuts down the relationship. So the person might just call you, may just please, can you just stop bothering me? And I have some work to do. You'll be sounding things that even you can't take it when people say to you, because it's not that you're being bad, it's just that that's the closeness of the person is triggering a reaction, and you've not really processed to know why. Sometimes maybe some traumatic experience in the past, something, maybe seeing a broken relationship of someone close by, or even your own life. So that may be some of the reasons why you keep creating this kind of ripple effects. And then when the relationship shuts down, be like, well, some people will say, well, maybe it's not God's will. If it's to be, it's going to happen. Excuse me? No, you are the one creating this same situation over and over again. So you want to sit back and reflect, or ask a coach or someone who knows you to say, how do you think I do when I'm in a close, intimate relationship? They may tell you some things that will be in your blind spot that you'll be able to work on.
Brilliant. Okay, let's share the next point. Are you ready? Unrealistic expectations.
Yes.
Yeah, you meet this person and then you start expecting too much. Okay, we've just told you relationships are in levels. Okay, you can't be expecting so much at the start when you're still at that phase where you're getting to know each other, and then you're like, oh, he didn't even offer to do this and he didn't offer to do that. You see, you're putting a lot of weight on that relationship that could make the other person think, hang on a minute,
what am I getting
I haven't even committed yet, so I might as well bill now. Okay, unrealistic expectations. Are your expectations real? You need to be asking yourself. Okay, when you ask while asking yourself this question, put in perspective the level of you are at in that relationship with this person. You can't be expecting too much. You can't be expecting what you see your father do for your mother when you're just starting out. Okay, of course, as it grows, this is where we have a problem with some people too. As you grow in the relationship, there are expectations. It is normal to expect certain things, a level of commitment. Okay, so you can't just go off the whole day and not call on or check up on the other.
Absolutely.
No, that's not right. Okay, but when you get to that point where you're demanding that, oh, he didn't even come to see me, and you're expecting that to happen every day without taking into consideration the other person's timetable, the other person's schedule, then that's a problem, you see. So you need to also ask yourself, are my expectations real? Okay, with the person in the picture. Okay, it's not about what is happening in my friend's relationship or how that's going. Okay, every relationship is unique. In this unique relationship, are my expectations towards this person real?
Fantastic. I like what
realistic,
you said.
Yes.
With the person in the picture. Because what I may call unrealistic expectation in my relationship might be perfect for somebody else. Maybe just be a normal expectation. Okay? So unrealistic expectation is contextual, it's subjective.
That's right.
So with the person in your relationship, what do you guys define as unrealistic expectations? That's why you have to have conversations ahead of time. So sometimes we come into a relationship with our preconceived notion to say, you know what, my dad and my mom, 40 years together, he does X, Y, Z. That was a journey that brought them there. All right. So you don't expect 40 years marriage results at the beginning. No, you have to grow and progress.
That's true.
All right. So again, sometimes people also have unrealistic expectations. Say that I want someone that will make me happy. You're putting the whole responsibility of your happiness as a human being on the earth, on someone else.
Yes.
Oh, I want someone that will do X, Y, Z. I want to marry, someone that will, clear off my student loan. I want somebody that will train all my siblings and send them abroad. You have this kind of thing that you be like, you're just coming with that mindset and you're just putting it on another person's shoulders. So no matter what the person does, it's never be enough because you're measuring the person with an impossible standard. Very, 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 very important for you to be able to. So that's some of the reasons why relationships don't last, right? Because the moment the person is into the relationship, the person is thinking, this person is just here to take. What value am I getting from this woman? What value am I getting from this guy? And so, you know what? I think I'll be better off This also affects some married people, because sometimes you just realize that it's only one partner that is doing all the work in the family. The feeding, the looking after the children, the financial part, and then the woman begin to ask, if this man is not in my life, will it make any difference? If this woman is not in my life, will it make any difference? No. That means the person, one partner, is becoming more of a liability in that relationship. So you don't want to be that person. So don't have an expectation that you are not willing to make. If you are setting a benchmark and say, I want this, you better be at that level as well. Otherwise, the other person begin to query your value in that relationship. Yeah.
Good point. Okay, so next point we have for you has to do with rebound relationships. Okay, and we see this sometimes where people are just quick to jump on the next relationship. You said something profound earlier. You said some people like the concept of being in a relationship. Okay, but they've not queried the purpose of relationship. Why am I going into a relationship? Okay, because at that point, I didn't realize, I'll be answering the question, am I just in a hurry to jump to the next relationship? Because I like the fact that, people know I'm in a relationship. It looks good to people. Okay, even when
posting pictures on
it's
Instagram.
A shadow of what should be, really. Okay, so I'll let you talk more about rebound.
Yeah, rebound is a situation whereby you just exited maybe a bad relationship, an abusive relationship, but you don't want to, you don't enjoy your own company. You've not sat down to reflect and to think about what went wrong, how did I contribute to this whole mess, what can I do differently, and you just be like, you know what, in order not to feel lonely, not to feel like manage the pain of rejection, you just look for the next available person and just jump into that relationship. Sometimes it's the person that you were complaining to while you were in that other relationship. You guys just start a relationship. It's not clearly defined what you're doing, and it just, sometimes it leads to sex. And then after a while, you just be like, so what are we doing? Oh, sorry, I don't know what we're doing. And then by then you've lost time again, and then you exit that one, and then you jump into the next one. Relationships are so life altering that you can't afford to make snappy decisions about them.
Right.
Anybody you work with, at work, in the office, at work, your neighbor, any interaction shapes you fundamentally that you might not even know. So let alone someone that you're going to you're trying to build a life with. It has to be you have to be very intentional about this relationship. So instead of just looking for the next available one, so you are not really sitting down and say, who do I really need? And then begin to be intentional about this. So don't be that person that just jump into one relationship to the other. And that's one of the reasons why relationships don't last. Because this person knows that I'm only here because I'm nursing her wound or his wound. Once she's on her feet or he's on his feet, he'll be out of the window. All right. So people don't also commit, and that relationship crashes again.
One thing we must encourage you to do today is to assess the quality of your relationship. All right. Look within. Even if it wasn't the circumstance of rebound that brought about it, just look within and assess the quality. What's the health of that relationship? Really, really important. Okay, so the next point we have for you today is lack of clarity. That's one reason relationships don't last. You get into a relationship not knowing what kind of relationship you even want in the first place, not even knowing you, not knowing your values. Okay, so you're not bothered about the relationship, what is therein for me in that relationship. You just get into the relationship. Let's just crack on. Okay, at least he's a guy, I'm a lady, or in something. Okay, and I can tell my friends I'm taken. Okay, it's not about ticking that list. Okay, it's about being in a real relationship and that relationship serving you. Okay, really important.
I like to make a point to the last thing that we talked about, which was rebound. We always emphasize that before you start another relationship, make sure you go through detoxifying yourself so that you enter a new relationship with a sense of wholeness. Not thinking or feeling like you are looking for somebody to complete you. No, you are complete. The concept of single is individual, single. You are complete on its own. All right. So you must be that kind of person that is happy You're not looking for our happiness outside.
Yeah.
You must be that person that is self-sufficient. All right. So when you're not, so you shouldn't be a dependent person. All right. You should be an independent person. When you now start a relationship, you now have the next level, what is called interdependence. All right. So you are not a child looking for a parent relationship to tell you what to do. You are an adult who is looking for another adult to build a life with. That's a difference. Okay. So the point we're talking about now is about clarity. We must be very clear about the type of marriage that we want. All right. So people say, oh, you know, I like this about this couple. Or like, you should need to sit down to say, you know what? Because we say something. We said marriage is not an end in itself. It's a means to an end. In other words, there is a purpose for your marriage. There is a reason why both of you are coming together to make a change. This is one of our purposes, to be able to create a transformation for families, and that's what we're doing. So our marriage is not just for ourselves, it's for other people as well. People are being blessed because we are married. So there is a reason for your own marriage. So you have to be able to say, why do I need to get married? Why do I want to get married? Have that clarity and now ask yourself, who is the most ideal person to be able to fulfill this vision with? All right. So you don't just look at someone because they are beautiful, which is good. It's one of the things you're looking for. Or he's very handsome, or he's tall, which is good. It's one of the things you should be looking for. But beyond all the external things, what kind of foundation is this person standing on? What are their belief system? What is their view of the world? What is their orientation? Because some men have this perspective that women should not work. So you're coming into a place where you want to run charity, you want to run your own business, you want to work. That's how you've been raised. And then somebody just come with the mindset that, sorry, your job as a wife is this. Is that the kind of thing you're looking for? So if you don't have clarity about what you're looking for, anything will look like it. Yes. Very important. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay. And then the bonus point we have for you. Forcing a relationship to move too fast. Okay? Forcing a relationship to move too fast. Relationships should take their natural course. Okay, they should be organic. All right. So, but we see this sometimes where you meet somebody, and sometimes one of the things that forces relationships to move too fast is having sex. Okay, you meet somebody, and because you like this person, you're attracted to this person. You think, I want this person to myself. I just need this person. I want this person in my life. This is the kind of person I want. And what do? You make this person have sex with you just to keep this person.
Yes.
So sex in itself cannot keep a relationship.
No, have it on lockdown. Okay. No. So that's one of the reasons why people try to get into a relationship. They will say like, have sex. They'll be like, oh no, I need to keep this guy. No, you can't keep a relationship like that. There must be something compelling that want to make the person spend time with you. Beyond the physical part of it. It must be at a deeper cerebral level. It must be at a deeper spiritual level, at a deeper social level. All right, you must be able to tick many boxes. Sex is just one minute section. It's important, but it's just one puzzle. All right, it's like saying you want to make soup, all right, and then the only thing you have is salt. Salt is important, but you can't eat salt all day long. Yeah, you can't. It's going to be toxic eventually. All right, so that is why it's very, very important for you to be able to not to rush relationship. Sometimes people rush relationship by saying everything about their lives. They're like, yeah, I'm like this. Oh, these are the kind of positions I like. Say things that people have no business with. The first conversation, we should
discretion.
Yes, you use some level of discretion. Like something we say, the concept of progressive disclosure.
Yeah.
You don't even know whether this person will be interested. Oh, sorry, I'm in debt. I have up to this 200 something thousand pounds in debt. You say all that, the relationship is already doomed to fail.
We're not saying hide certain information. No, we're not encouraging
not at all.
that.
Yeah.
But progressive disclosure.
Yes.
Okay, as the relationship grows,
yes.
Like I said earlier, a level of commitment will be required.
Yes.
So a level of sharing will be expected, really.
And some people, another reason why, when they start any relationship, the next thing you're going to observe is that they abandon all their friends. and they just hold on to this other person, and they are just, this is the new person on the block,
Yes,
and they're just all over. Oh, if you see this lady I met, if you see this guy I met, they're just talking and talking and talking, and they neglect all other important relationships. Some people are like that as well. So you see them that each time they are always with a new relationship, and they're always falling out with different people, falling out with siblings, falling out with parents, falling out with friends, falling out with other, but they just have one person that they are keep raving. Very soon you hear another news that person is no longer their number one. They have moved to, so that's not a very good thing. Relationship should be healthy, all right, not just have one person that will be all end all.
Yes. So do you have other points you think we've not touched on? Let's hear from you. You can drop them in the comment section. Don't feel shy. Okay. We would like to read from you.
Yes.
And now is the time we would encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done that.
Yes.
Hey, we've got resources you can benefit from. Go on, hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it so you're notified when we drop our content.
We'll be happy for you to do that. You were going to say something else?
No, I was going to say it's been lovely doing this.
Yes, we'll be happy for you to subscribe because it helps us create more content. It helps us push our content further. Okay, so
and feel free to share.
Yes, let's collaborate on this project.
All right. Until we come your way again with something really interesting, it's goodbye from us.
Bye-bye.